Hey there. If you're like me, you had no idea what you're doing with Etsy. No idea. And you're trying to figure out how do I improve my shop? How do I start a shop? Things like that. And nor am I an expert at anything, honestly, but this year has been really successful for me on Etsy. I've made over $3,000 in sales in my first year, which is insane to say, to be honest. And the funny part about it is, I mean, I've sold other things, but almost all these sales have come from one item. One item, same color, no variation, same exact bag. And yeah, so I'm going to go a little bit more into how this all came about, things that I've learned in the process, things that I've run into. It's been a very unique journey this past year with starting my Etsy shop and this crochet business and getting my branding right and everything like that, and just social media. Like, I knew nothing about this. I before was just posting just to post, just posting stuff just because I wanted to post the things that I was working on. Basically, this lily bag in a nutshell just kind of blew up out of nowhere, and people were asking me, "Hey, can you make this?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." But this is just, like I said, just become a bigger thing, and so I'll go a little bit more into how all of this happened, how it started, and hopefully you'll stick around. And if there's any questions or things that I can help you about your Etsy shop, or if you can relate with any of the things that I've run into, let me know in the comments below. But let's get into this video. So I started crocheting in 2023, and I kind of spent that first year really just practicing and just trying different things and seeing what I liked. And from there, I was just like, oh, I saw all these people have their shops. And so I was like, okay, maybe I can do that. And so I think I opened my shop initially, I think at the end of 2024. A friend had reached out to me, and she had sent me on Instagram. My friends tend to do this sometimes. They're like, oh my God, can you make this? This is really pretty. And it was the Crochet Lily Bag. And I was like, yeah, of course I can make it. And I started on it and made good progress. And then I got caught up doing some other stuff because I was doing pattern tests and things like that. And yeah, I just kind of forgot about it. And I kind of felt bad because it had been months. I didn't finish it, I think, until the end of December. Um, and I was like, I'm so sorry. I know it's been a really long time. There was really no deadline. She just wanted me to make it for her. And so I finally finished it. Then I posted it, really like not thinking anything of it. I mean, I was really proud of the bag, but like I didn't think it was gonna blow up or anything. I posted on my Instagram, and I believe on TikTok as well. I was still pretty new to TikTok, and it started getting a lot of likes. I didn't have a huge account at all. Maybe definitely under 1,000 followers at the time, probably a couple hundred if that. And yeah, it started kind of blowing up. A lot of people were liking and sharing and commenting, and I had never had that experience before with any of my videos. And people were asking me, they were like, hey, do you sell these? Is there a pattern? A lot of people asked me for the pattern, so I had to kind of direct them. It's not my pattern, by the way. I just make them. And so I was like, well, here's the pattern. But then I was like, well, so many people are asking me, I guess I should add this to my Etsy shop. And so I told my friend, I'm like, hey, I'm sorry, but there's gonna be a lot of people walking around with your bag. And she was like, yeah, no, it's fine. Get your bag. And so I was like, okay. So I added to my Etsy shop, and that was a whole thing trying to figure out that, making the listing, and just figuring out all that kind of stuff. Because then I was like, hey, I have it, I'm offering it now on my Etsy. And then I made another TikTok of like basically like cute, basically like clips of me making the bag as well. And all of this happened in the beginning of January of 2025. So this all happened literally within a couple of weeks, and people were asking me, and then I was like, okay, hey, I'm selling, I put it on my Etsy, and I was just getting a lot of orders, and I wasn't expecting that because these bags also, for context, take maybe about like 10 hours ish. I mean, give or take, depending on how focused I am. But they take a long time with the sewing, and I'm including the sewing time and all that kind of stuff. They're not super quick to make. And so with that, I had to taken that into account, and then getting so many orders, I ended up having to increase my processing time. I think before it was like 1 to 3 weeks, and I was getting so many orders where I was like, I can't physically. I have also a regular 9 to 5. I was like, I don't do this full time. So the expectation for me to do all of these, or it wasn't happening, and I didn't want to get burnt out of it. So I extended the processing time. So that also gave me a little bit more breathing room. And I was scared that with me increasing the processing time and things like that, that people wouldn't, want to order from me, but that wasn't really the case. And that made, I was initially worried about it, but it really ended up not being an issue. Like, I've just learned, like, if somebody really does want your work, they're willing to, one, pay for it, and they are willing to wait. So almost all of my sales this year were from that one Lily bag. And then, people would ask, oh, are you doing other colors, whatever? But I was like, no, like, my hands were full with just this one bag. I'm not joking. My hands were so full, and I'm very grateful. And, it felt great to know that there's, even now, like, just thinking, like, there's so many people, like, just out there just with my bag that I made, and that they wanted it as well. Today I've made 26 of those bags in 1 year, which is really crazy to think about. um, and I also really relied on social media really for kind of the marketing for this, and also just Etsy as itself. On Etsy, when I check like my stats, it shows like almost most of my sales were coming from just people looking within the app. And I did use Etsy ads for a little bit as well when I was trying to get off the ground, and that did really help, I think, like, kind of push my product to the top. And I think that really helped with just exposure. But outside of just Etsy, a lot of people have, I think, on TikTok, there's over 100,000 views, over 70,000 views on those two videos that I posted of that Lily bag, and even on Instagram as well, had a lot of user interactions. But actually, surprising to me, which I had seen like a YouTube video do the suggestion that you should put your Etsy listings, basically make them as pins on Pinterest. And I was like, okay, like, I've never done that before, but I figured out how to do it from the video. And actually, that's what I found a lot of people when I asked them, like, how did they find out about me? A lot of them found me on Pinterest. They were like, oh my God, I saw this bag came up on my feed on Pinterest, and I knew I wanted it, and they had saved. I have a lot of people that have saved it. And also, like, a lot of people have pinned it on their Pinterest boards, and it's actually kind of cool to kind of look at. You can also like click on the the actual pin on Pinterest, and kind of see the boards that people put together. And so it's like really cool to kind of see, like, oh, my bag is like there. Um, but I say all of this, I give this whole story about this Crochet Lily bag, because that was almost, I'm not joking, I only did one color, I only used one fabric. Though that was the majority of my sales. If I had to guess, like, probably like 95% of my sales from this year were all from that bag. When I was setting up my Etsy shop, I really wanted it to look and feel like other Etsy shops. So with that, I was like, okay, I need a logo. I need like a banner. I need, I wanted everything to be cohesive and kind of have a, basically branding. And I didn't have that, and nor did I have time. Like I said, I work full time. I don't have time to do all of these things. So what did I do? I turned to other Etsy makers, essentially. And so the first thing was I had someone create my logo on Etsy. He did an amazing job. I kind of told him the idea that I had, and he kind of really brought it to life. So that was the first thing I did, was doing my logo. And then outside of that, I was like, okay, I know that you can make banners and things like that in Canva, but I don't have the time to figure out all of that. And so I found on Etsy, you can just like buy the download um, to use certain like templates basically for your Etsy shop. And so I found this one and I love this one, and it was really easy to customize. And so I use this for my thank you cards, I use this for my banner, I use this for like the receipt. Like I technically was supposed to update some of the colors and I just ran out of time and I still haven't updated it. But I think it still looks great, and I think it really kind of fits with my branding. So, um, yeah, so I think that's really the first thing, is just using other Etsy shops to use for your own branding really helped create that cohesiveness of my shop. The other thing that I also got from Etsy were tags. So I have these custom tags that say Simone's Crochet Nook, and I put that on all of my items, especially the ones that I sell. And I think that just also helps, like when they get it, like a lot of the things that I sell actually are gifts. So I think it also helps, like people will throw away your packaging, and you know that just comes with time. But like the tag being there will always be there, unless it falls off or something. But it will always, for the most part, be there, and they'll always remember, okay, this bag was made at Simone's Crochet Nook, even if they forget. Like they could just look on the bag and it's there. Or somebody might ask them and they'd be like, oh, well, let me check because I don't remember, but they'll look on the bag. So I've been trying to be really good about making sure that I include my tag. But yeah, like that was something, relatively simple, but I think that that has like a lasting impact on the products that I have. And so, like, that in itself, just kind of making this ecosystem of my brand was something new to me. And I'm saying all this, I'm not a marketing professional or anything like that, but I did watch a lot of YouTube videos of just other people who have started Etsy shops or crochet businesses, and a lot of them say the same thing of kind of creating your brand and having your logo, your colors, things like that, really help, kind of make it feel more professional, and, people are just more likely to purchase from you. What I did after I opened my Etsy shop was I secured my name on pretty much all platforms that I thought that I might use. So I initially, like I said, had my Instagram, so Simone's Crochet Nook, as well as Simone's Crochet Nook on TikTok. And so then I was like, okay, I wanted it to be cohesive, like everywhere. I wanted it all to be Simone's Crochet Nook on Etsy. And so once I secured that Etsy and made sure it was still the same, then I was like, okay, you know what? I'm not really on YouTube, funny enough. Now I am. But I was like, let me secure my YouTube channel just in case in the future I decide that that's something I want to do. So then I made my YouTube, I made a Pinterest. I also made sure that my email also matched. So I wanted everything to be the same. So if somebody was looking for me on one platform, they could easily find me somewhere else. And I think that also really helped as well. And I use the same profile picture, and like I said, this it's the same at Simone's Crochet Nook on all of the platforms. So I think that that's really been helpful. And I say all this, I'm not a number one like creator, but I think it just helps when someone is trying to find me. I don't know, I'm not really sure what pops up first, to be honest, but I'm just hoping that it just helps people to find me. And so I think, like, the importance, they always say the importance of like cross posting, posting on I try to post all of my things now on all of my platforms, and also just promoting, cross promoting as well. So if I post a new you know, TikTok or Instagram or YouTube, whatever it might be. I try to do it on other platforms as well. I am proud to say that I have pretty much a 5-star standing on my Etsy shop, and a lot of that has come from reviews and people leaving reviews and pictures, and it makes me so happy, honestly, like that people enjoy my work. But I say all of this not to boast, but just to say like that really is an important lesson, like the importance of reviews. Like I know even with me, when I'm looking to purchase something, I look at reviews, and especially when there's pictures, I'm going to check out those pictures. So I think that that in itself, like having a lot of reviews and pictures and people sharing, like I've had people share TikToks, other videos and pictures with me when they opened it or them wearing it, you know, or their outfits. And it's just so cool to see. But like all of that brings exposure and also just kind of brings more trust to your brand and your products as well. And I think that is honestly what really helped as well, with people deciding to, you know, buy my Lily bag. And I mean, it makes me so happy. It really does. And but I really do think that that was a really important factor for my success this year on my Etsy shop. This is my personal Lily bag. It has. I've taken it on trips. I've used it as like my beach bag, so it does have a little wear and tear, but that's fine. But this is my Crochet Lily bag that I saw on my Etsy. And if you could kind of tell, I'm not sure with the lighting if you can tell, but it does have like sparkles in the yarn as well, which I love. Um, but yeah, this is a Lily bag. And then on the inside, it is lined. And then it has this like magnetic clasp as well. And then I have a little pocket. I sew a little pocket in there as well. So I usually put like my phone or lip gloss or whatever it might be. I usually put in that. But this just helps it be more durable, so this won't stretch out. But yeah, like I said, I've used this. I'm taking this at the beach. I took this with me on vacation, and I'm taking this to the beach, and it's to the pool, everything. And when I need to clean it, just put it in the washing machine. And so, I mean, I really do love this bag, and everyone does see every time I like wear it outside, people always like, "Oh my God, I love your bag. Where did you get it?" I'm like, "I made it." It's like the greatest feeling ever, honestly, to be like, "Yeah, I made this. Like, I didn't buy this. I made it." And I'm like, "Yeah, but also if you're interested, here's my Etsy shop." So, there's always a great feeling. But yeah, here's the Lily bag. Um, if you're interested in it as well, it's available on my Etsy shop, or you know somebody who might be interested, feel free to share them. Share with them my Lily bag. I appreciate it. You've stuck around this long. I appreciate it so much. This year, my first year on Etsy, I mean, it really was more than I can imagine. I'm so grateful for every single person that supported me and purchased my bag this year. I mean, yeah, it's actually insane. I really never thought that this would have happened to me. But I am grateful, and you know, it just makes me more excited for the future. I'm hoping, you know, for the upcoming year, I'm actually planning, I want to start doing like in-person markets. So I've been doing all of my things, you know, selling my products through Etsy online. So I actually want to try doing in-person markets as well, and also just offering different products. I mean, this bag has been, like I said, the sole, like the main contributor to my success on Etsy. But I still want to make it, but I do want to grow from it and also offer some other things. So that's really kind of like my hope, you know, for the future of my shop. And like I said, thank you for supporting me. Thank you for watching this video. And, you know, if you want to continue on my journey, please like, subscribe, and, you know, leave a comment on, especially if you're thinking about starting your own Etsy shop. If there's anything that I could help with, let me know. And if not, just leave a, a little heart below, just so I know that you've watched it to the end. Either way, I hope you enjoy the rest of your year. If you're watching at the end of the year, as I'm filming this, if not, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye. Thank you for watching.